Welcome, everybody. This is going to be the first episode of the 541 podcast, a Power Ranger podcast. I'm Corvus. My co-host is Joey Dynamite. And basically today I'm going to give a quick breakdown of what's going to happen. And we're going to go ahead and start it off. We're going to introduce ourselves a little bit, let you guys get to know us, talk about a couple little quick subjects. And this is actually being done at the Morphinominal Expo 2018. So you'll hear, maybe a little echo, maybe a little background noise. Going forward, it won't always be like that unless we have an on-location interview, which we have a couple. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Danny Castellanos of We the Geeks of East LA. He's a YouTuber, he's an actor, and his videos are all over YouTube, and they are freaking awesome. So yeah, what you're going to hear first is going to be just me and Joey talking about a little bit. And then following that, you're going to go ahead and hear the interview that we had with Danny today. And then towards the end, I'll go ahead and wrap everything up, hopefully in a nice little package. Hope you guys like it. It's our first attempt at a podcast ever. Really hope this freaking works. Enjoy. All right, so basically we're here at the Morphinominal Expo. I'm Corvus and Joey Dynamite.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Like, how did you, where did you find your love of Power Rangers?
I was born in 1998. Power Rangers been around since 1997, 1994 actually.
Yeah.
So I kind of just grew into it, man. My brothers were watching it, and growing up, and kind of like, my dad showed it to me one day, and it was an episode of Mighty Morphin, and I ended up watching that, and I was like, okay, didn't pay much attention to it, and then he ended up showing me In Space, which came out a little bit later, and when I watched Power Rangers in Space, I got hooked. So, yeah. I guess because of all eventually it was just something that had me hooked, and I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, like I started in 94, and I didn't actually watch it from the beginning. I actually saw it at my cousin's house. It was on TV, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And he always wanted to be every Power Ranger, and I got stuck being the girls.
Yeah.
But then at home, it was funny. I was legit scared of the show. Like when I was little, I'd watch it and like the explosions, and I was legit freaked out. And then one day, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I probably just couldn't find the remote or something. That's true. I just couldn't find the remote, and I just sat through a whole episode. I was like, oh, this wasn't so bad. And then after that, I was hooked.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you were born in '98, so we're literally almost 10 years apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, you started In Space, and yeah, In Space was fun.
In Space was a really good series. So.
Yeah. I think that was the first time I saw Andros. He was just cool.
Yeah,
like, that's legit.
Especially since that's like the post Zordon era. Like, that's awesome.
Dude, when Zordon died, I didn't know what to do with myself.
It's crazy.
I was like, that was the first time somebody died on the show, right?
Yeah, that was actually the first time someone actually died on the show, and then pretty soon after that, because in the Japanese series, in the Super Sentai series, everybody dies.
Yeah.
But in America, it's a children's show. They wanted to kind of make it, sentimental, and everybody loved Zordon. So
yeah, he was everybody's TV grandpa.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's funny because you watch the shows, you watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and this is literally before you were born, so it's weird. But no, but I remember on TV there was this big thing of, oh, Power Rangers is too violent. Like they were trying to take it off TV in 95, 96, and I was just like back then you were a kid, but whatever.
Yeah.
Then you come back and you watch it, and I'm like, this is violent.
You go back and watch it, this is violent.
It's
if you think about it too, it's kind of like a comedic,
it's comedic. It's
comedic.
It's cheesy, but it's fun cheesy.
It's fun cheesy.
Yeah, that's what it was always. Yeah, I never watched it and thought it was a super serious show. It's just they're running around in colored spandex fighting people. But yeah, I always liked it, even when and again, this was 95. Whenever the White Ranger showed up, because I was the White Ranger in first grade for Halloween, and everybody used to make fun of people, and I never stopped watching.
Yeah. See, my thing was I came out around when I came into it was 99, around that time. It was 98, started watching around the same time. But see, what I did was I was such a fan already. I was like, you know what? I was watching the recent ones,
Yeah.
But because I grew up on you know, In Space, Lost Galaxy, Wild Forest, Time Forest, Lightspeed Rescue, like all the recent ones leading up to now. So what I did one day, you know, we got a Netflix membership. My parents did.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I saw they had all the Power Rangers on there. So, you know, what I did, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and binge watch. And that's what I did. Literally, that's what I watched for 2 years.
So all the seasons that you hadn't seen?
All the seasons, and I watched them, rewatched them from the seasons from when they were all the way up. And I still do that to this day. If I have nothing to do, hey, I'm going to watch Power Rangers. You know?
Yeah, I just, like, this past week I just finished Ninja Steel. So,
Yeah.
And then they had the anniversary episode. So that's just like it doesn't really fit in the timeline.
Yeah.
Like it's just there.
My thing is like it doesn't fit the timeline specifically because I feel like they went back because they brought in Ninja Steel after Super Mega Force.
Yeah.
So that's my thing there, which is pretty much like, you know, it kind of like upsetted me because how are you gonna go from having the Legendary War and everybody has all the, you know, all the Rangers who showed up, and they just, their powers get absorbed and they disappear.
Yeah.
How can they come back? Like,
that's what you know. I know it's like fan service, but when you stop and think about it, it actually kind of bugs you. Like, wait, and then it's like, how did Tommy get all the powers?
Yeah, like how did he get that? Like you saw that he came back as the Green Ranger in Super Mega Force.
Yeah.
Because supposedly all the Rangers, you know, realistically, they're all in the same place. They're all in Angel Grove, no matter what.
Yeah,
they're different parts of Angel
except
Grove.
for what's his name, like the RPM ones.
RPM and Lost Galaxy, you know.
Yeah, there's a couple that are different, but they're all basically the same dimension. That's what they were saying. They're like, oh, it's different dimensions, and I'm like, so it looks like Coda is a different dimension. It's like so
because when he had mentioned,
you know, Brennan Mejia's over there. We could literally probably just ask him.
Go ask him. Yeah.
Be like, what?
What's up with the?
What's up with this?
What's up with these timelines, man?
But the thing is, they all know Tommy.
Yeah, they all know Tommy. Yeah. And I think like the majority of it has to be like, you know, they had the RPM and they had
which is a really dark season.
Which was actually one of my favorite seasons.
Yeah. That was a cool one.
I'm into like the dark stuff, you know.
That one was dark.
So I have to say that one was one of my favorite seasons, specifically because it had like a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, like they had basically the heroes had already lost.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
They were fighting from the bottom.
Yep, and that's what had me really interested too. And I guess because I'm like a big fan of dark stuff, so like I'm into like dark animes, dark TV shows, dark stuff like that. Like, you know, and that's just the way it is. But
I'm gonna say, and then Tommy has a kid.
Oh yeah.
So who's the mom?
Well, I mean.
His name was.
Rumor has it's Catherine Sutherland who played in the second Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine. Who played Catherine? Yeah, it's obviously her name.
And the kid's name is. Yeah, she was there, and they didn't. I mean, they probably wouldn't anyway, just because it's like a kids show. They won't.
Yeah.
But it's like she was there right next to him.
But I mean, us being Power Rangers fan, if you think about it.
That's the thing. You can't overthink it.
Yeah.
But no, but like other things, I'm like, the turbo powers were completely destroyed.
Yes.
So
How did TJ come back?
Yeah.
How did TJ come back?
But TJ had his space power, but at the same time, it's like in the Legendary War, I think the Turbo Rangers were there.
Yeah.
So it's like those powers are completely destroyed.
Well,
so again, you overthink it. Like.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like the morphing grid, and in order to destroy all of the Rangers, if you think about it, you have to destroy the morphing grid.
Yeah.
Because without the morphing grid, there's no more Rangers.
Yeah. Like they play into it kind of in the episode because I saw a lot of people that were talking about the anniversary when they're like, why didn't Tommy turn into Turbo?
Yeah.
Like, well, TJ turned into the Red Turbo Ranger at Forever Red, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So he's got the Red Ranger power.
Yeah, he's
so
got
it'd be kind of messed up if he just had them all.
Yeah.
Because people and Tommy wasn't always the Red Turbo Ranger. He was in it for like the movie and like half of the first season or half of the Turbo season.
It was like the first half of the Turbo season, and then they brought in TJ.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so that makes sense. So I don't see how people were complaining about that. I'm like, he doesn't have the power.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in Forever Red, he was the Red Turbo Ranger, which like the powers were destroyed. So how did he do that? And then how did he get the space power back?
I don't know if you noticed in the dimension in the 25th anniversary, there was a Dark Alpha. Did you notice that?
Oh.
There's a dark alpha. It's a clone alpha. He wasn't red and gold. He was black and purple.
Huh. I gotta go back. I gotta go back and watch that.
It was. I mean, there's a lot of Easter eggs in there too. If you really look at it, really pay attention.
I saw it. I literally watched it on my phone because I missed it on TV. So I watched it on my phone, so I wouldn't have seen half the things. So I gotta go back and watch the whole thing. But I just noticed a lot of stuff. And then people were complaining about the Falcon Zord.
Yeah, the Falcon Zord. What upset me was the cockpit wasn't where it was in the movie.
Yeah, no.
That's what upset me.
I didn't care so much about the CGI because I'm like, it's. I mean, the CGI was kind of whack, but
yeah.
I figured they weren't gonna bust out the old toys and
do it. Yeah.
It's just like I don't know if you ever noticed, but in the first movie, the Megazord they use, the Ninja Megazord they use in the movie, and the Ninja Megazord in the show don't look anything alike.
Yeah, they don't. They don't look anything alike at all.
Like the one in the movie is all CGI and actually looks like a.
Another thing that they did too was they brought the Ninjetti powers in the movie. But there's a separate episode where they find the powers.
Yeah, Ninjor gives it to them.
Ninjor gives it to them.
Yeah, so the movies are like I've heard people say like they're two different.
Yeah, they're two different
time dimensions or something.
Whatever. But like that's kind of what freaked me out and upset me too. Because when I went back and watched it, I was like, I wonder how they did they forget how to get their Ninja powers and how to go back and
And then the suits didn't match, which I mean it makes sense. That's a movie.
Yeah. But actually the Ninjetti. The Ninjetti powers is originally a Super Sentai Dire Ranger.
Yeah, which is where the White Ranger came from.
Yeah, which is where the White Ranger came from. And, I wish that originally got adapted.
I thought those suits would look really cool.
Yeah, I wish that would have gotten adapted more than Alien Ranger. Alien Ranger is like a small little
It was like, what, like 5 episodes or something? It wasn't much. I didn't even really think about it. Like, when I saw Alien Rangers on TV, I didn't really think, I just thought it was another episode of Power Rangers, but it's like, technically, it was a different season.
Yeah, it was a different season because pretty much everybody, all the Rangers that were there from the Mighty Morphin originally, they got
turned into kids.
Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I like the anniversary episode. It's literally it was an anniversary episode. It was what we were supposed to get.
And what I like about these anniversary episodes is, either they're season finales.
Yeah.
Or they're, what sets the scene for the next season.
Yeah.
And what I like is that they do it as a 2-episode split.
Yeah, that's how they usually do it.
So, it's like the first episode, they're leading into it towards the end, and then something happens, and then they go into it in the rest of the
I was going to say, episodes. It was weird, though, because I know they're doing the split between Ninja Steel and then Super Ninja Steel.
Yeah.
But they had the anniversary episode, which would have been a cool. Like, it's not going to be a lead-in because they lost the powers at the end. But they had the Valentine's Day episode right after, like last week.
Yeah.
I was just like, I mean, I know they did it right after Samurai. I think they did like a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that. I just think it's weird, like the timing of those episodes is kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
But yeah, let's see.
Hey, this is Christopher Kamen Lee, Andros from Power Rangers in Space, and you are listening to the 541 podcast.
It's Joey Dynamite here with
Danny Castellanos.
Danny. We're going to start off asking a couple questions about yourself. So what made you want to do fan films?
Well, I mean, growing up, I used to make my own movies. I used to play with my toys, and I would get the video cassette, and I would just like record like my own little movies with my toys, figures, and or sometimes I just got in front of the camera, and I would do like the cool little record myself in front of the camera, and then pause, step out, and then record again, and it makes me look like I disappeared,
Yeah.
Like short little stuff like that. But yeah, I've always loved acting ever since I was a kid, and I took acting classes, and once I graduated, you go through that phase of like, oh man, what am I going to do in my life, But I also love drawing art, so I went to film school to do like 3D animation. And during that class, they had the cool like VFX thing and like green screen stuff. And that was 1 month course, and I fell in love with it. You know, I left the 3D and I did more of that stuff as a career. But my love for Power Rangers is the same thing. It's the reason I got into acting and like pretending to be, you know, a superhero with a helmet and stuff. And I figured, you know, why not apply both things into one? And the fan film started with Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
He had little competitions of like, oh, recreate, you know, like your favorite Mighty Morphin Power Ranger episode kind of thing. And me and my family got together because I was super excited. I'm like, yes, let's do this. You know, I know some stuff and we can recreate an episode. And we did that. And I was talking to my girlfriend. And I was like, you know what? We should do more of this stuff. This was really fun. And we got more into Power Rangers. And I bought a Halloween costume. And I bought my little sister a Halloween costume. And our first video, believe it or not, was shot on an iPhone. And that was our first fan film.
And from what I hear, iPhones, they actually have a really good camera quality.
Nowadays they do. And, you know, and it's what I tell a lot of people because, you know, they all want to get into like, oh, man, I wish I can do what you're doing. It's like, you can do it. You know, there's nothing holding you back. Oh, you know, if I don't have a camera. You have a phone. Phone is a camera. Oh, yeah, but, you know, I don't know, VFX, there's apps for that, you know, and now there's apps for everything, you know, and it's, one of the biggest things I tell people is, like, don't make excuses, you know. The more you give excuses, the more somebody else that's hungry for it is going to go and do it, and then you're going to sit there and say, oh, man, you know, they did what I wanted to do, you know, but, you know, if you're hungry for it, do it. It's not impossible.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, do you just order all your cosplays, or do you make them?
Well, the first suit I ever got was an Anarchy suit, and that was gifted to me by a friend in the UK. He saw what I was doing, and, you know, he was like, hey, I want to help you. You need a legit suit. He's like, I'm going to send you a suit. And I was like, I was very like, no, dude, don't do that. I appreciate it, but, you know, I'm okay with what I got. But, you know, he kept bugging me about it till I said yes. And, of course, you know, I paid him back. He didn't want to accept my money, but, you know, I paid him back. And and like, you know, through the years, you know, you're like, okay, you know, my brain works in weird ways. And I'm like, oh, man, it'd be cool to have this Ranger and, like, do this kind of skit. So little by little, you know, you start discovering more of the fan base of Power Rangers. You know, I discovered a great fan page called Power Rangers Traders, Buyers, and Sellers. Mm-hmm. And there you have people that, you know, sometimes need money and they're selling their stuff, and sometimes they need money really fast, so they sell stuff really cheap. And that's where I came across with most of, like, my suits, you know, cheap price. And that's what I purchased them. And at the time, I used to work 2 jobs. I used to work construction, and I used to work at a hobby shop. So I had a little bit of money left over, and I would, like, save that up and, you know, purchase, like, a suit or, you know, even, like, weapon toys, and then I would modify them for fan films. And or, you know, of course, you know, you discover Anarchy, and you're like, okay, well, Anarchy's a great maker. Let me save up more, and then I'll buy a legit suit. Yeah, you know, and you know, you have other makers, and through the other makers, you're discovering, like, what's best for you, and then it's a learning curve, you know. So it's like now that I know some of the makers, people ask me like, oh, who should I go to? And now I know who, like, to send them to. But it's one of those things where, you know, you're discovering things as you go, and it's nice to inform the fans, you know, of, like, where to go to now.
So I know on your fan films you usually get special guests like Brendan Mia, and you recently had a video with him too. You had one. You also have had Coda. Mm-hmm. You had him too. So, like, if you can do another one with any other Rangers, or even a team up with different Rangers, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm actually talking to Michael Coupon right now about doing something before I leave back home. I mean, I would honestly, I would like to do a fan film with, like, a lot of the cosplays that I have with, because I have this connection with, like, my cosplays. You know, you watch Power Rangers and you're like, oh man, I want to be my favorite Ranger, you know? And in my case, I have a lot of favorite Rangers. But one of the biggest ones is Danny Slavin. Lost Galaxy Red. That was the first suit I was gifted, and, you know, I'm happy that he was one of my favorite Rangers, and and I own one of his suits. And I've also met the guy. He's very nice. Danny Slavin. I already have Brennan. Brennan's also one of my favorite Rangers. But I was supposed to do a skit with Andrew Gray. Andrew Gray is a super cool guy. Andrew Gray, maybe Carter Grayson, Lightspeed Rescue Red. Erin Cahill, she's my favorite Time Force Ranger. Don't tell Coupon that, but yeah, she's my favorite Ranger from Time Force and all of Ninja Storm.
Yeah.
All of Ninja Storm.
And they all seem like they're all really nice people.
We were supposed to shoot with Giorgito at Power Morphicon, but Power Morphicon was so busy, so it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ninja Storm, that cast, I love that cast.
So if you were to end up making your own Ranger series and you had to make your own suits and have your own storyline and dialogue, what would you go with?
I love Akiba Ranger from the unofficial Super Sentai, Akiba Ranger. If I were to make my own series, I would like to base it off Akiba Ranger. You know, a bunch of fans that love Power Rangers become Power Rangers, but not officially. And, you know, just the storyline of Akiba Ranger and, you know, maybe meeting your fans and idolizing them. And they're like, hey, I'm not the character, I'm just an actor, you know, kind of thing. And then, you know, maybe having a few guest stars, like, I think that'd be so cool. I don't know what I would call them. I call my fan base, you know, the Power Geeks, so maybe call them, you know, the unofficial Power Geeks. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I would like to do something with Akiba Ranger. I think that would be awesome. So like it's based off like time or like dinosaurs. It's more based off Power Rangers, you know? Yeah, something like that.
Well, I saw recently too, you did a little crossover between Jurassic Park and Dino Charge. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, okay, so that was actually really funny because it was my girlfriend's birthday and she loves Jurassic Park. And a week before her birthday, I was planning her a surprise party. And Jurassic World, the film that destroys the park, I saw a trailer and they were doing a promotion with parkour. I don't know if you guys saw that video. It's like three people running away from like the T-Rex and the Velociraptor, but the Velociraptors were doing parkour with the three people that were chasing. It was late at night, and I kid you not, this happens to all of my videos. This is how I think. It's so weird. I'm late at night, I'm about to go to sleep, but I usually respond to all my comments at night on YouTube, so I stumbled upon this video, and I got so inspired. I was like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so cool to have like the Red Rangers running away from like dinosaurs, you know, do a cool little crossover. And I messaged one of my good friends, David. He goes by DL Visuals. He's also my photographer. I told him, hey, I just had this crazy idea. It was like 3 in the morning. I didn't even know if he was awake or not. And I messaged him. I'm like, hey, I have this crazy idea. Jurassic Park dinosaurs chasing the Power Rangers. And he goes, dude, yes, let's do it. Okay, cool. Here's the best part. For my girlfriend's party, I had ordered the 2 T-Rex inflatable things. So I was like, I already have dinosaurs. What else am I missing? Oh my gosh, I have the 3 T-Rex suits. Oh my gosh, okay. So I was like, okay, I have my camera guy. He's ready to shoot. I have me. I need somebody else to be the T-Rex. And I saw my best friend, Tommy, who he played the Kamen Rider Wizard in my Kamen Rider video. And I messaged him because I saw him online too, and I was like, hey, would you like to be a part of a skit? He goes, yeah, what's up? Get this. Jurassic Park T-Rexes chasing the red Dino Rangers. And he goes, yes, let's do it. Boom. I was like, okay, what day are you guys available? I messaged both of them. They're like, oh, we can do it, Thursday? Cool. I got everything Thursday. We drove down to the location where I love shooting, and we suited up. It was early in the morning, and it was hot. So my best friend Tommy, he's a true trooper. And yeah, we filmed everything. And later that night, my girlfriend's party was on Saturday. So Friday night, my friend David, he sends me all the clips. Oh, he kind of like cut it up for me. So all I had to do was like the VFX music. So Friday night, I get home, I start editing. And then my siblings, Jasmine and Luis, they were there, and they were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Jurassic Park versus the Dino Rangers." They're like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "Hey, we should do a little shout out for my girlfriend, because it's her birthday." So I got the kids in, and I had them kind of like, "Oh, they're in the park," and they're like, "Oh my gosh, 2 T-Rexes are on the loose," kind of thing. And we film all that. And the best part too was, oh man, I forgot to say this, was we were done filming, and then my friend David goes, "Hey, maybe you should have the 2 T-Rexes eat the red Dino Charge Ranger at the end, like you're cornered." And I was like, "Cool, who's gonna film it?" He's like, "Dude, I got a tripod. We can all be in the shot." I was like, "Okay." So my friend David got in a suit too. He hit record. You just see these 2 T-Rexes running towards me, and then they eat me. And then I edited that all on Friday. I probably went to sleep like at 4 in the morning, and then I got up, and then we did the surprise party for my girlfriend, and then I uploaded the video and I showed it to her, and that's how that video came about.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's how my mom works.
You got one creative mind then.
Dude, like when I'm editing and I get so excited, I'm there working. I forget about time, And I think, I forgot who said it, but they said when you're working on something that makes you forget about time, that's the job you want to do.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Do you have any upcoming projects you're working on? Anything?
The Dragon of Nightmare. He's I have everybody tell me that that's one of their favorite films that I've done. And they want to see what's coming next. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
So he kicked my butt pretty bad, and I'm working. I already wrote out some script. I already have the basic idea of what I want for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to spoil it too much, but I'm basically freaked out. I don't want to fight because I'm scared. I don't know whether it was a real dream or it was just all in my imagination, or was it real. But the rest of we the geeks go and fight, and he beats them up too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Do you like to travel to go film in other places? Like have you ever thought about traveling to coming down to San Antonio or coming here to go film in another place? So you have a different variety of.
Last week I was in Sacramento for SAC Anime. And Sacramento has some awesome locations where at night there's nobody, and I'm like, yo, this is a cool scenario to have something. So I'm thinking about Sacramento. We went to Bakersfield to shoot the Hello Yellow video that I did. Bakersfield. Bakersfield has some cool locations, and here it's hot. It's hot. I don't know how you guys do it. I saw some of the cosplayers, and I was like, you guys are troopers, man. Well, I couldn't survive at AX. AX for us in LA was super hot. I felt like I was going to pass out. I had to take off the suit within an hour because I couldn't do it. But you guys have some cool locations here, man. Yeah.
It's hot. Like us, we're professional wrestlers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're professional wrestlers.
Jesus.
So, we've dealt with the heat, even in, going out there wrestling in the heat.
Wow.
Wearing something similar to those suits.
No, but you guys wear the masks, right?
Masks and
wow.
Yeah.
It happened maybe 5 months ago. We were in Austin in 100-degree weather. This guy's wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask. Out in the sun, no shade. It's horrible.
Oh my gosh! Did you guys get the mask tan?
No.
Oh, my face is completely.
Yeah,
covered.
my face.
Oh, really?
I just got everything.
Actually, my mask is actually a design of the White Dino Thunder.
Oh, really? Cool.
What I did was I switched it around because the White Dino Thunder, I just switched the colors around, and instead of having the pterodactyl here, I replaced it with the bomb fuse because my character is Joey Dynamite.
Oh, shit,
so
that's
I replaced
tight.
it with the bomb fuse, and it's got the design.
That's cool, man.
It's pretty cool, man.
Dude, I didn't want to see that. I want to see that.
It's a pretty badass thing.
So where can they find all your stuff?
You can check out my stuff in YouTube. youtube.com/surfratsurfer. You can find We the Geeks of ELA on Instagram. And on Facebook too. It's We the Geeks of ELA on Facebook too.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. 16.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.
All right, so there you have it, guys. We had a lot more to say in the opening, but we go ahead and I cut it short a little bit. I'll go ahead and put some of that stuff in future episodes. But that's where we're going to leave it for today with the interview with Danny Castellanos. As always, support him on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. And coming up, we're going to have interviews with Michael Copen, Brennan Mejia, and Christopher Kamen Lee. Those, they were busy, so it took a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put all three of those into one episode, which will be our next episode. So if you like what you heard, guys, leave a comment, let us know. You can follow us on Twitter at 541pod. And that's it. For my co-host Joey Dynamite, I'm Corvus. We'll see you guys next time.